What to do, my boys, coming through once again. And on today's video, we're gonna talk about these individuals, right, who are scared of talking about what's going on in LA. That's some crazy ass stuff, especially for people that come from the same background as me and you guys, right? Yesterday, I told you guys in a live, right, that I got into TikTok. And there's a content creator, has a YouTube channel and stuff like that. And they asked him this question, man. What's your opinion on what's going on in the USA, right? In LA, throughout the USA, right? What's your opinion as a, let's say, Mexican, right? And that guy said, man, let's talk about what's going on over there in Israel and Iran. When I heard this stuff, I was like, this is about this garbage. And I'm going to tell you why. Because this is, I don't know how you guys see it, right? But this affects you. People that look like me and you, we feel like we are being targeted, right? You have individuals who are citizens of the United States. They get picked up by ICE because you cannot prove at that moment that you're a citizen. Trust me, you go through the whole process until they understand and realize that, hold on, man, this guy is a USA citizen, right? Now, that's when they'll let you go, right? There's a case of this young individual, right, probably on his 20s, who didn't want to give his information and stuff like that. He got handcuffs until they found his ID and were able to prove that he was a citizen, right? But we have this going on right here, right next to us. And you want to divert that attention of what is affecting you to something that's not going to affect you. Something that's going on over there in Israel with Iran. A lot of people, they want to say, or they want to pull the card of the raza speaking Spanish, you know, even though sometimes they don't know how to speak Spanish, which is okay, you know. I appreciate the effort, though. Yeah, I'm not gonna be hating right here. I appreciate the effort, but in the same way, they're scared to touch on topics they affect their viewers, that affect what they believe or what they seem to represent or want you to believe they represent, right? Let me just say it the right way. Because at the end of the day, man, let's just put it this way. Who cares who you voted for? It is what it is. I've been saying that from the gate, you know. But there has to be a point when you're like, hold on, wait a minute. I don't think this is right, right? Because I feel like a lot of people who are protesting out on the streets is because of how they're treating immigrants and where they go to schools, man, to drop off their kids. I just seen a video of that, right? A lady dropping off their kids at school. Immigration is waiting for her right next to the school, man. Come on, man. You know? And things like that. That's why people like me and you guys who have this belief don't like this. That's why you send me clips of what's going on out there on the public, man, so I can see and possibly speak on it, right? And that's why I'm speaking on this, because it does hurt me. You know, it does hurt me. It's my people, and it doesn't matter if you were born in the U.S., in Mexico. Like I always say, if you have that in your heart, in your head, you are Mexican in my eyes. Simple as that. You possibly could have just 1/4 Mexican, right? 1/4, man. But if you represent our gente, man, you are Mexican in my eyes. I don't know about the eyes of other people, but with me, you do. And the same way, you can be full-blooded Mexican, and you turn your back on our gente. If you see one of our people struggling, you turn your back on him and be, I'm white or whatever. Like, man, screw you, homeboy. You know, you're not a Mexican in my eyes. Simple as that. Just to make it clear, just in my eyes. That's my opinion. But there's a lot of individuals throwing this fake narrative, right? making it seem that people who have papers are not protesting. They're like, oh, now we're right here chilling. Just the people who don't have papers, they're out there protesting. That's not the case. Do you think that, let's say, most of those guys who are protesting don't have papers? You don't think that ICE will fucking just get them right there? Come on, man. Like, it does not make sense. Those guys who are protesting, they are USA citizens. Those guys who are protesting and flying the Mexican flag are USA citizens. Most of them. Guarantee, bro. Why? Because they're protesting for a family member that can't go out on the streets. Either a tío, the mom, the jefito, the primo. Somebody, right? That's what it is. So when people like the people that look like me say, hey man, the paisanos or the paisas, right? I call them Mexicanos. Go fly the Mexican flag. Like, come on, man. Come on. Let's not make up stuff up around this camp. I do understand that everybody got their vote, but at one point you have to be like, man, this is not right. And we have seen individuals who have channels actually be like, hold on, man, I voted for this, man, but this I do not agree with. Separating families, I do not agree with, right? You can twist it and do all this stuff and say, well, look, when those guys immigrated to the U.S., right, left their families out there, they separated their families. But there's a big difference, homeboy. That's a sacrifice. They making for a better life. Now their families in the States. Now that person has a responsibility of making sure that his family got it good. And now what happens? You deport old boy, and the family cannot sustain themselves, right? Everything's too expensive. And the guy, what he has done, you say he committed a crime. I'm gonna tell you about crime, because I have seen individuals calling these immigrants criminals, bro, when in fact those individuals calling these individuals criminals are more criminal for unallowing people, for doing all that shenanigans, man, committing a crime, going to prison because of that, when in fact crossing the border is not a crime, bro. It's not a crime. It is a citation, like when you traffic ticket. It is a citation. You don't do prison time because of that. At least not the first time you cross. You will not do no prison time because it's not considered a crime. So all of those you guys who've been in prison, who have unalive individuals, right, who are pointing a finger and saying those guys are criminals because they crossed the border. The real criminals right here are you guys. Simple as that. And that's how it is. Now, when you deport that person back to Mexico or whatever, right, and then that person decides to come back, now that is considered a crime, right? That's when it changed. So for all you guys who are calling these individuals crime, just educate yourself a little bit more, man, when it comes to this stuff, man, because at the end of the day, man, these individuals are coming or going to the U.S. to work, and the way they are being treated is not good. I have heard that that the U.S., California, that's a stolen land, right? I never got the concept, right? Because I was like, hold on, I thought Mexico or U.S. invaded Mexico. They paid for the land, even though they were like, either you give us half of the land or we take all of it, right? So they pay for the land, right? Supposedly. That's an agreement. They did an agreement. Meaning, in this agreement, it said that the land of the Mexicans was going to be respected. The language of the Mexicans was going to be respected. Meaning that half of that USA should have spoke Spanish. That's respecting the language. Right? That is on paper. Now, if you don't agree with that, and let's say the U.S. decides to be undo that the agreement, that means that all that land that supposedly they bought has to go back to Mexico. So it's just little things here and there that people like to pick and choose, but those are the what's going on. Those are the evidence right there. You know, if you don't believe it, go search it. Go search for that paperwork they signed. I think that it was the Declaration of Hidalgo or something like that. Something around that name, right? But one thing I would like to tell you guys is that no matter who you are, who you voted for, at the end of the day, man, we're standing strong. No matter if you're from the south, from the north, talking about California, Texas, man, doesn't matter who you are, man. As long as you understand that what's happening right now is not cool and protest in a peaceful way, I think a lot of people will appreciate that. Now, if you're not doing that and you don't want to get involved in that, that's cool, man. That's cool. You're 100% on your right. But do not front. Do not say, oh man, this is for our gente, and trying to push that lingo to the viewers, man, because at the end of the day, man, you're just being a hypocrite, you know, because at the end, you don't care, right? You don't care, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just my opinion, and it's something that I wanted to touch on. You know, it's about how some individuals who say are for the hand don't even speak about the issues that are going on in the U.S. They want to concentrate on other stuff. That is because I seen somebody on TikTok on a live saying this and that. Me agüitó, güey. Me agüitó. I was like, this vato fucking garbage. You know? And then we have people that do content for the raza as well, supposedly. But they're over here throwing a fake narrative that those guys who are flying the flag are from Mexico. Paisitas. I mean, no mames, güey. No mames. That'd be so stupid for those individuals. Let's just say, imagine all those individuals who are protesting or rioting, whatever you want to call it. Imagine if all those guys didn't have papers. You know how easy it will be just to round them up and say, you know what, everybody, cuff up, motherfuckers. Let's go to Mexico. Come on, man. Does not make sense, man. But with this being said, we are out to next video. Muchas gracias. Saludos. And stay strong, man, to your beliefs. And for those who are sending me videos and stuff like that of different things that are happening, man, muchas gracias. I do appreciate them. I do see them whenever I get a chance. And maybe it's going to make me make a video on it. You know, just keep doing your thing, man. Highly appreciate everybody. Thank you for the support. Don't forget to subscribe. Gracias.